Deputy Lord Mayor, all these proposals were rejected by this Labour Council, proving again this is not about air pollution. They just want to attack the motorists.
I call upon Councillor Simon Morrall to move the third amendment.
Thank you, Deputy Lord Mayor. I raise to move the amendment in my name, Councillor Simon Morrall for Frankly Great Park Ward in South Birmingham. We know that there is nothing more basic to a healthy environment than the air we breathe. We understand that we need to reduce our carbon footprint, and we are committed to improving the environment for future generations. But I'm afraid, Deputy Lord Mayor, that this document will not achieve that aim. While it is true that the government has mandated this council to clean the air, it is not true that the government has mandated them to charge vehicles. So let's be absolutely clear here. This Labour-run council here in Birmingham, the largest in Europe, has made a choice to charge vehicles because this administration is on a crusade to attack the motorist. For starters, the city centre is not the most pollutant area in Birmingham. A charging zone won't just be damaging for both residents of Birmingham, but you are simply moving the poor air to other parts of the city. They also want to segment parts of the city centre into zones with set entrances, making cars have to travel further, which creates more air pollution. Once you get to work, you'll be in for another surprise as they want to introduce a workplace parking levy. That's if you don't get caught up by the ridiculously placed bus lanes ranking in over £2 million a year. If you feel like bypassing the city centre, you might not be able to, as they've even suggested closing off the A38 Queensway tunnel. That's even if you get into the city centre, as they're now putting prop-up bus lanes all down the main A roads, in particular the A38 Bristol Road South. And if you still feel bold enough to travel by car, you'll be doing it at a snail's pace, as this council proposed to impose a 20-mile-an-hour limit on 90% of the roads in Birmingham. Thankfully, the government stepped in to reject this proposal. And after all that stress, as you drive home to your community, you might not be able to get to your house as they stick a plant pot at the end of your street in the low traffic neighbourhoods across the city. And if you do pass out from all the stress and you decide to phone an ambulance, well, the College of Paramedics have recently called out local authorities to not delay calls with badly designed road closures and layouts. Deputy Lord Mayor, if that is not a resume for an anti-car agenda, then I don't know what is. Its anti-car agenda is broad-reaching and draconian. It's authoritarian and paternalistic. And just like with its financial incompetence, they willfully try to mislead the public by blaming central government for its own poor judgment. Under the last Labour government, MG Rover was closed down. Now this Labour Council are coming after your cars as well. The congestion charge, which is what it is, will be a tax on the poor. The charge will cost the poorest motorists, in which I represent, an extra £2,700 a year in costs. It will wipe out an already struggling high street. And we've already seen this with the likes of John Lewis, which is closed down. And I know the opposition roll their eyes at that, but actually data shows that John Lewis saw an 8% drop in sales that was directly contributed to the London congestion charge. Deputy Lord Mayor, the people of Birmingham do not want a council virtue signalling with plant pots at the end of their road. They want jobs, they want money in their pocket, they want a strong economy, which is why I was happy to see our Mayor, Andy Street, and our MP secure £24 million worth of investment to redevelop the old MG Rover site. And to my surprise, a Labour councillor in Northfield criticised this, saying he wanted the money for the Northfield High Street, forgetting to mention that he himself has campaigned for a, quote, people-friendly high street. That is, again, fancy language for he wants to remove cars from the high street. And it's not just Northfield. If you go to any high street, Sturchley, Kingsheath, Selly Oak, Harborne, you will see these people-friendly measures. But don't be fooled, they are not there for COVID. That is a trial run for their anti-car future. Deputy Lord Mayor, it doesn't need to be like this. There is an alternative vision for this city that was set out by the Conservative group. Imagine another world. You come to Birmingham for the first time off the M6 motorway, you drive down the Aston Expressway and you see green gardens down the corridors of the concrete walls of that way. You think, blimey, these guys must take air pollution seriously. And you'd be right, as it's been proven to remove 40% of the air pollutants from the air. You get into the city centre where you find parking spaces, and as you walk around our city, you see innovative new technology like city trees, which are the size of 2 benches and have the impact of 275 trees. You can go for a coffee in the local park, as the council has protected 8 acres of parkland and invested in tree canopies. And if you go for a drink on one of our roof terraces, you will see a skyline of green roofs, which have been shown to reduce air pollution by 32%. But even more impressive is everybody is employed and banging on about Birmingham being the home of a brand new gigafactory, making Birmingham a global leader in battery technology, pioneering the electric cars of the future. Deputy Lord Mayor, all these proposals were rejected by this Labour Council, proving again this is not about air pollution. They just want to attack the motorists. To conclude, I would just like to say, Birmingham, the Labour Party are destroying this city. It's pretty clear that the vast majority of Brummies do not want these anti-car measures. Most see them as a cheap attempt to raise money from a party that is more interested in looking like it's doing something rather than thinking outside the box. And while I'm opposed to them, I do hope that the anti-car policies of this report will be the straw that breaks the camel's back and means that Labour get booted out of office in the years to come. Thank you, Deputy Lord Mayor. I move the amendment in my name.
We will drag the naysayers and the petrol heads with us, but we will change this city for the better, and we will become a European city worthy of the name.
I absolutely agree with her. We are probably going to have to drag some people over there, kicking and screaming, into the reality that we all need to change our lives going forward.